Hello, BioSci 139 students. So this video is to walk you through how to get around on the Visible Body website, how to perform the labs, and some of the things that you can do with these online models. So this is not a video that's going to explain how to sign up for Visible Body. You should follow the link that I have in the Word document that was posted for lab number 17, heart and blood vessels. That will take you to a sign-up page. You'll sign up, and then once you have access, that's where this video really is going to be helpful. So first things first, this isn't our new Canvas, so they have lots of features like calendars and course resources and grade books and announcements. I'm not going to be using any of these features here. We're still going to be relying on Canvas for that particular kind of stuff, so I won't be announcing anything here. This grade book doesn't matter, so don't worry about what it says, anything like that. What is important is the assignments, which is the tab that we're on right now. So you'll see labs here that sometimes during the next few weeks we're going to be using this system, this online model system, in order to do the labs. So if we click on labs and open it, we see that there is this lab here, heart and blood vessels, that is open for you to take a look at and to complete the tasks. It is open now all the way through 4/26, which is when this particular lab is going to be due. So if we click on heart and blood vessels, that is going to, you know what? I'm going to take away this due date. So what you're going to turn in to Canvas is due on 4/26/2020, but I'm just going to leave this open all the time so that you're able to access this anytime that you want. So once you've clicked that heart and blood vessels, it's going to take you to this page here. So this page has some assignments here and then some quizzes down here. We'll get to the quizzes. I'll show you how to do them. First thing I'd like you to know is the quizzes are completely optional. You can do them, you can not do them. Whatever grade you get on them will not be counted as points in this class. They are there for your practice. So we'll discuss the quizzes a little later. What I would like you to do is look at these 3D models of the cardiovascular system. And so they're in order here, starting with the circle of Willis, the carotid and jugular, the pulmonary, things like that. So you'll be opening each 3D model and taking a look at this lab worksheet for 17 here. What you'll be doing is you'll be tagging these models with specific things that I'd like you to find. The specific things that I'd like you to find are all here listed underneath the model we'll be looking at. So our first model is the circle of Willis. In the circle of Willis, I'd like you to find the basilar artery, the anterior communicating artery, the anterior cerebral artery, etc., and tag them. After you've tagged them, you're going to take a picture of them, and it is these pictures of the tagged models. That's what you're going to be uploading to Canvas to get your points for this lab. You should also be keeping them because they're great study resources. So you can see we got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 models that I'm going to have to ask you to tag. So let's look at how we do that, and we'll start with the circle of Willis. So we click on it, and it's going to begin to open in a new tab. Now, the first time this happens, it takes quite a long time. I've also noticed this is a pretty robust kind of system, so if you can get rid of these tabs up here, any tabs that you don't need, close them down, and that's going to give more bandwidth to this model system to come up. So we're just waiting for this model to load. So there's the model right there. In particular, the arteries that we're going to be taking a look at are all found right here on the base of the brain, from the brain stem to the kind of bottom part of the brain. Now, what I really like about this program is you have an ability to move this model any way that you would like. So first off, you can move your body, so to speak, to look at the model from a different place by pressing AWSD. So actually, if you're a gamer, this is going to be real easy. So it's the WASD buttons. W goes down, S comes up, D, you go that way, A, you go that way. Those are the default movements. You can change them actually by clicking on these settings and then going in there and looking at that. So you can move your body in relation to the model like that. What I really like is you can also move the model. And the way that you do that is you click off the model, hold down the mouse button, and kind of move like this. And that's going to rotate the model like it was in your hand. You can rotate it this way, you can rotate it that way, you can rotate it up and down any way that you like so that you get a better view of it. Now we're also pretty far away right now from the model, so you can get closer. If you've got a wheel on your mouse, then scrolling up means that you will zoom closer to the model. And this is just a scroll. So if on my computer or laptop, on the touchpad, if I use 2 fingers, that is a scroll, so I can move forward that way or away by pulling down with 2 fingers. But any way that you scroll is going to zoom you in or zoom you out from the model. So you can get yourself kind of in the very best position to see all of these arteries here by manipulating the model. And then you can move the model any way that you want, just like that. Alright, so that's moving the model around. Now what we need to do is find some arteries to tag. So you can do that very easily by just clicking these things. So by just clicking an artery, it's going to pull up with its name here. You could look at the definition of it, what's interesting about it, what it connects to, what areas of the body it supplies blood to. You could look up pathologies if you want, interesting stuff, but definitely not something that we're doing. You could listen to the pronunciation, so I'll be quiet for a second.
Basilar artery.
So we got the basilar artery here. And then finally, what you're going to want to do is tag it. So that is by clicking this button right here, Add Tag. So we click that button, bada bing, bada boom. We've now created a tag for this artery. So the basilar artery, if we look onto this sheet right here, is the first artery that we have to find, basilar artery. We found it by just clicking on the artery and getting lucky. So now, what if we have to find another artery and we have no idea where it is? The anterior communicating artery. Alright, we know it's maybe in the front somewhere, anterior, but communicating artery, where the heck is that? So if there's an artery that I'm asking you to find, you have no idea where it is, you've clicked on some arteries, you can't find it, you can always go to Anatomy Search here and click that, and then do anterior communicating. Maybe I've spelled it wrong. There. Okay, so it's got to be spelled right. Anterior communicating artery. Just by clicking that, we see it right there. Now, this program is designed for med students. So it is going to get more in depth than we will be asking about in this class. For instance, this is the, in particular, left anterior communicating artery. I'll just be asking where's the anterior communicating artery. So there's going to be a lot of arteries here that we will not be getting into in particular. There will also be names for them that are more specific than we're going to be getting into. But we have found an anterior communicating artery, so we'll add ourselves another tag. Now, let's say we've added that tag and we don't really like it there. It doesn't feel right to be way over there. It would feel more right over here. You can always grab the tag, and by holding down the mouse button, the left click, you can move the tag to a new location anywhere that you want. So you can move that tag anywhere. So now we've tagged 2 of these arteries. We go back, we've got to look for the anterior cerebral artery. Well, here's the cerebrum. There's a lot of arteries up here. Is it this one? No, this is the ophthalmic artery. Maybe I don't want to be clicking around this all day. So again, I go to my search here. We've got anterior cerebral artery. Left or right, doesn't matter. Let's go ahead and click the left one. So we see that the anterior cerebral artery is right there. We can add another tag to it. I'm going to pull us back just a little bit and sort of recenter us. So that again maybe would look a little better over here. And now we've got a bit of a problem. That anterior cerebral artery is kind of way down in there. I can't really see it. It wouldn't do very well to tag something that I can't see. So how do we get rid of things? To get rid of things, if you click on them and then you click hide right here, you can basically disappear them. So we've gotten rid of the brain there, and now we can see where we have tagged that anterior cerebral artery there. Oops, too far. So there's the anterior cerebral artery. And you would just continue that process through the middle cerebral artery, the posterior cerebral artery, the posterior communicating artery. When you have completed that. So when you have tagged all of those arteries and they're showing up like this, what you can then do is go down and click download image here. So if you click that, it will download wherever your downloads go. And if you open it, you'll see it's the view that you basically have on your screen. So those arteries have all been selected here. They've all been tagged correctly. This is halfway to one of the pictures I want. So it is this right here that I would like you to turn into Canvas to get points for this lab. So this is the first that you'll be looking at. You can then you'll then be making a picture of a tagged blood vessels for each of these models here. And you can then turn in 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 pictures to Canvas, or if you can combine them some way, that would be nice, but you don't have to. This is what I would like you to turn into Canvas, basically an annotated picture of these things that you are finding. Okay, a couple more things here that I'd like to talk about. Let's say in clicking around, like you click this guy here and you say hide, and you're like, ah, crap, I wish I had not hid that guy. You can go back basically by clicking our history button and then clicking the undo there. So that will return something that you have accidentally gotten rid of. So the history button here is our undo button. so that you can create a nice picture. So that's basically it. That's what you'll be doing and turning in 4 points here. You can only open one of these models at a time, so when this one's done, you've taken your picture, you know where it's saved on your device, then you can go back and click the next one, and that will wipe this guy and bring up a new model for you that you can then begin to annotate. And when you're done annotating, in this case, you'll be looking for some arteries and some veins. When you're done annotating, you'll take that picture again and you will save it to upload to Canvas 4 points. Now, the last thing I'd like to talk about are these quizzes down here. So these are the 6 models that I would like you to take pictures of. These are quizzes that you can take and see how well you know these blood vessels or parts of the heart as we get down to here. So I'm just going to open up this first quiz to show you what it's like. Again, I just want to stress, you don't have to do the quizzes for lab. You also will not be graded on the quizzes. They are entirely there for your study purposes. So they give you the model and they ask the question right here. Select any part of the right or left internal carotid artery. All right, carotids, they're here in the neck. It's a little difficult to see, so again, even with these quizzes, you can move this model any way that you want. You can get in close to see exactly what you are looking at. If we take a look here, these are the 2 common carotids. So if we select that, it says, do you want to submit this as your answer? Well, that's the common carotid, that's not the internal carotid. So if we look at the common carotid, it breaks into the external and the internal. So if we click that one, and then we say submit, hey, you got it right, and you can move on to the next one. The left or right lingual artery. So here is something that I also want to mention about these quizzes. They are designed, and I can't really alter them. So they're going to have like 70 to 80% of the stuff you need to know. They're also going to have stuff that you don't need to know. So we aren't asking ever in a lab practical in this class about the lingual artery. So you can do whatever you want. You could select an artery, get it wrong, and get your next question up. You could try and maybe use some anatomy to figure it out, right? Lingual, like bilingual, like tongue, like maybe let's go real close, look underneath here, see if we can find an artery that would be in the tongue area, like maybe this one. So actually, I don't even know what this artery is. Let's see. Submit. Hey, we got it right just by putting it together. Right? Left or right superficial temporal artery. So again, you can go through these quizzes and sort of test yourself. Okay, so if you have any issues or trouble at all with this assignment, let me know. I can offer you alternate assignments that will test basically the same things as this. I think this is just really cool kind of resource that you're going to be able to have all the way till June, I believe, and just kind of nice. I mean, it's way nicer than a lot of the other stuff I've been looking at. So I would suggest this maybe if you're going to go on to med school or nursing school or something like that. It is very, very well done. You can also just sort of open any of these apps and kind of take a look at them. Where you're doing all of this is in the Human Anatomy Atlas, so you could open that kind of at any time and just take a look at all of these different anatomical pieces. But again, let me know if there's any trouble, and I hope this is interesting.